Okay, well, I'll just quickly introduce myself. My name is Susan Green. I'm one of the owners at Clover Lane Settlement. And Allie, our presenter today, she's the Marketing Technology Director for My Home and our resident Google business profiles expert. So My Home's a part of WFG, National Title, and WFG National Title is our underwriter that we utilize. This is actually a second part of our two-part webinar series on Google business profiles. In part one, we reviewed the setup, best practices, and basics of leveraging your Google business profile. And today we'll take that all a step further and discuss unique strategies to set yourself apart on the free platform. If you missed part one, don't worry. Clover Lane has a YouTube channel, so search it, and the recordings on that YouTube channel. This webinar series is also a part of Clover Lane's complimentary digital business development service. We offer individual marketing training, so feel free, and I'll put our emails in the chat, to reach out to schedule a one-on-one meeting with our marketing expert, Claire, who's not on the call today, and she can help you figure out what you need to know and move forward with your social media, Google, anything that you need to know in marketing. So at this point, we really look forward to what you have to tell us today, Allie, and take it away.
Awesome. You guys, this is one of my favorite topics ever. Meg can attest to it. And I think it's my favorite because in a time where we're dealing with high inflation, everything's costing more, I love to talk about ways to get free leads. So this is going to be one of my favorite conversations. Not only because I'm passionate and I think it's really important, but today, if I were to get into the real estate market, like if I were to become a realtor right now, this is the one thing that I would focus on my business first. Jimmy, I'll send that to you a little bit afterwards. Yeah, I got to confirm how to spell his last name anyways. It's Japanese, and I don't want to butcher it and then not be able to give you the right name. So I will send it to you in a little bit, or at the end, just remind me. Okay, so let's get going. Where we at? Share. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I'm going to go into present mode. I'm not going to stay in present mode the whole time because I will have a lot of other places that I'm going to take you today. So bear with me when it comes to kind of switching screens back and forth. If you do have questions, drop them in the Q&A, and either I will grab them or Susan or Meg can kind of interrupt me real quick to make sure that I'm seeing those questions that come in. But we're going to go into optimizing your Google business profile for lead generation, local search, all of those wonderful things that allow you guys to get those phone calls rolling in, regardless of whether or not you're spending money on Google to do so. So let's get going. And I apologize if I am out of breath a little bit. I'm trying not to have twins on the call. I'm sure if you guys have been on the call, you've seen this little bit about me, and I know Susan talked a little bit about me. I have been in the real estate industry for over 11 years now and 22 years plus in sales. I do specialize in marketing technology and sales opportunities. So I love to talk to you guys about short form video, social media, search engine optimization, farming, scripting, business planning. And then this is what I would put into the category of online reputation management, as well as, a form of lead generation too. So let's get going. All right, our agenda for today, we're going to talk a little bit about the Google business changes that happened late last year. We're going to talk about profile completion, which we talked a little bit last time. We are going to talk about the 5 R's of reviews and the best practices in those spaces. We're going to talk about SEO opportunities and backlinks, which might be something you're unfamiliar with, but we're going to keep it super simple today. We're going to talk about citations, and then a little pro tip for you on geotagging your photos on your Google business profile and how that might help you. All right, so late in 2022, Google business changed. Not only did it rename itself from Google Business, Google My Business, It also got rid of the Google My Business app, and the dashboard in that app, they no longer exist. Your actual dashboard now exists on Google. So if you're logged into your Google business or your Google account and you Google search your company name, your actual Google business profile dashboard will come up. And you can manage it through that Google search, or you can even manage it in your Google Maps account. It's just easier to access, to manage your page, your reviews, your reputation. It's right in the Google search page. And they did this to simplify the platform so that way people weren't having to manage multiple apps. So you can manage it right in your Google Maps or right through Google search. While that platform change took place late last year, we still are seeing few glitches happen. While the platform is trying to make sure that everybody is up to date and getting their information complete and up to the standards that they're looking now. Sometimes we're seeing some suspended accounts, seeing glitches, all of those things. So if you're having issues on your Google business profile, or you're getting errors, or you're not getting verification, please let us know. Let myself, Claire, definitely let Claire know, because she can kind of walk you through the basics. If she needs to pull us in, for a more like formal, hey, really, what is going on? We can all kind of get together and figure that out. And we've done that before. And then verification of your actual account can actually now happen via postcard or video, which is really cool, video and photos. And what we are seeing is if people haven't logged into their account recently, after the changes, incomplete profiles are being flagged and removed, which is not fun. So if you have any questions on these changes, please let me know. But as we talked about last time, so we talked about how Google likes a complete profile. So what that means is claiming your business profile, if you haven't already, completing every section of your Google business profile, which Google prompts you to do. Okay, we need to make sure that we have everything that we could possibly fill out in that profile completed. Okay. One of the things that Google wants you to make sure that you have is, a little bit of diligence and preciseness in your contact information. So I have on the screen here NAP. That just stands for name, address, and phone. And what Google likes to see is that name, address, and phone number are the same across all digital platforms. So if you are online on your website as, let's see, on the left-hand side, Maria Hernandez, Clever Realty Inc. Let's say she's online on her Google business profile as Maria Hernandez, Clever Realty. That's great. But if she's on Facebook as Maria Hernandez and then comma realtor, it might not connect the two. Okay. Same thing with your Instagram and your Facebook profiles, making sure that your NAP should be the same across all digital platforms is really important, because Google recognizes that as a complete business. Okay. Reminder that selecting your primary and secondary categories should look like real estate agency first, real estate agent, real estate consultant, all of those other things to follow, but real estate agency first. Making sure you choose the areas you serve or you want to serve, add your videos, add your photos to your profile. You can do that of yourself, your team, your listings, your clients, your closings. Best practices is 100 photos gets more clicks. That sounds overwhelming. Just do 5 a week. 5 a week would be great. I'll show you exactly a secret behind some of the photo stuff at the end of our call. But if you can just do 5 a week and build up to that 100, that would be the best. Add products, add your listings. You can add any guides or explainer videos or webinars, obviously such as estate planning or getting your home ready for sale, but anything that you can add as far as content to your Google business profile is helpful to let Google know that not only are you active in your business, but there are other services and other things that you specialize in that you want other people to know about. Okay, so let's talk about ranking locally. So how do you rank compared to your competitors? And what Google looks at are these 5 factors. There's a couple of other small factors that go into play, but these are your top 5 reasons why you would show up locally for a search like realtor near me. Okay, number 1, is Google Business Profile, which is why I recapped everything that we talked about last time. So number one is your top local ranking factor is that you have a complete business profile. And that's what Google wants to see, is that complete profile. So the majority of the reason that you're going to rank is because of the completion and accuracy of your profile. Second is going to be reviews. So the second reason that you're going to rank locally is reviews. And we're going to talk about a review strategy and what goes into a good review, why it's important, and all of these different wonderful things that Google wants to see. The third thing is going to be website SEO. That sounds overwhelming, and I'll be honest, it likely is to most people, even as somebody who has some medium knowledge of SEO, medium to advanced knowledge of SEO. I will say that, sometimes it's overwhelming to think of overhauling a website, which it totally is. So I'll give you some ideas there. Backlinks also go back into your website, meaning it's just providing your website authority to say, yes, I specialize in these areas that you've told Google you already specialize in. And then citations. Citations sounds complicated, but essentially all it means is that your name, address, and phone number in all of the local ranking websites is the same across the board, and you have those things completed everywhere. So I'll show you a little bit of what best practices on citations looks like as well. Okay, so let's get into it. So we talked about the completion of the Google Business Profile. Next is the 5 R's of Google reviews. So this is what Google says they want to see when it comes to Google reviews, especially on local businesses. So they're going to take into account your rating, your radius, your recency, your relevance, and your response. Okay. From consumer studies, we have seen that a 5-star only rating is a big red flag. And I know that sounds crazy, but think about going on and searching a business and they have like 110 reviews and it's 5 stars only. In my mind, I'm probably sitting there and I'm thinking, I wonder how many family members that they have that came onto this online review platform and they left 5 stars. Because in all reality, we're flawed people, right? It's very unlikely that we haven't had even just like one slight mishap in, a service or something like that. And it's pretty common to have 5-star only ratings when you have under 10 reviews, but it's very, very likely that, not everyone is perfect. So the consumer would like to see anything from like a 4.7 to a 4.9. It doesn't red flag anybody on that 5 stars, but a 4.7 to 4.9 is reality of the business that we work in. Okay, radius. So service areas mentioned in reviews. So remember that place when we were completing our business profile and we put in the service areas that we work in or want to work in. This is a great spot where if you want to ask somebody for a review or leaving you a review, ask them to mention the area that they purchased in or sold in. It doesn't have to be a neighborhood. It can just be a big city or even a county if they're not comfortable with getting into the city conversation. So for me, I would say my agent's name was Brent, and I would say Brent helped us navigate an out-of-state purchase. We were so excited to look at different areas of the city, but we ultimately decided on a home in Powell because of the schools and the education that Brent brought to us from all different areas. And we're so excited to settle into our new home, whatever it is. So for me, he can prompt me and say, hey, do you mind just leaving us a review and including Powell somehow in that review? Yes, because then what happens is it says, okay, the consumer is saying they purchased in a city that is actually on their business profile. So they connect the two and say, okay, this person is 100% working in Powell, Ohio. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Recency. So this is actually a new thing. This is something that Google added just recently, but it wants to see your reviews as anywhere from 6 months to today. If you don't have recent reviews, it's going to automatically lower your ranking. Okay. My husband and I were talking about this the other day, and he doesn't know anything about Google. He's an engineer and business operations person, but um, so he was like reading reviews on a new restaurant that we wanted to try. And the most recent review was from like 8 months ago. And he goes, I wonder if they're even open. So he was questioning whether or not this business was open because there hadn't been any recent reviews, even though, the Google business profile said that it was open. So we ended up calling just to confirm that it was open, because it was just weird. They had, a lot of reviews, but the most recent one that they had was 8 months old. So what's happening is Google is now ranking based on recency. So they want to see reviews that are relevant. They want to see responses, they want to see radius ratings, but they want to see most recent reviews. And what I suggest in this space is you implement a review strategy. That could look like you asking for a review at the closing table. That could look like you texting somebody a link to your Google business profile a couple of days before closing so they don't get bogged down by moving. This could look like an email campaign that goes out 30 days post closing. There's many ways to get reviews from people, but I always say if you implement an actual strategy and a schedule, it makes it a lot easier on you to do these things and to consistently stay on top of making sure that you're asking for those reviews. Relevance. So relevant reviews with keywords rank your profile higher. So this kind of goes back to that service areas mentioned in reviews. So a keyword could be Powell, Ohio, or it could be buyer, or it could be investor or seller, or first-time home buyer, or those are keywords. So you can also ask somebody, hey, do you mind mentioning the city that you worked in or the city that you bought in, and then maybe the type of home that you bought, or that you were an out-of-state client. Those are keyword relevant ideas that you can prompt some of your clients to say in their actual review. And then it'll tell Google, okay, this person is not only working in this area, but they're also working with out-of-state buyers, which will help rank them higher when an out-of-state buyer is looking for an agent in that specific area. And then response. This is probably, in my opinion, the most important one of all of these. They're all very important, but response actually will help you humanize your brand. So when somebody leaves you a Google review, you'll get notified that somebody left you a review in your email. And the whole goal would be to jump into your account and respond to every review quickly. If somebody doesn't mention the area that they bought in or sold in, or keywords, this is your opportunity to use those keywords yourself. So if somebody just said, working with Susan was great, she was always available for us, if we have to buy in the future, we'll 100% be calling Susan. That's an awesome review, but there are no really keywords in that review. So you can respond and say, Susan, we are so excited for your family to find the perfect home in Powell, Ohio. And we're excited to see the cool renovations that you do to your house, or whatever it is. Let's say you are like a renovation specialist or something like that. Those are keywords that you can use to notify Google that, hey, Powell and renovation, or whatever it is. So you can kind of trick your Google reviews in your keyword responses in the case that your actual buyers and sellers and investors don't mention those keywords in their responses, which is totally fine. And like I said, again, when people see that you're responding to your responses or you're responding to your reviews, it really just humanizes you. It shows that you care about people, not only leaving maybe bad reviews, but also good reviews. And it shows that you are literally in your business and working on your business, and you care about those things. Now, let's talk about negative reviews real quick, because sometimes we do get a negative review. I will say Google is very good about, let's say you get a negative review and it is not anybody that you know, it's not anybody that you worked with, and it's actually somebody that is leaving like a review on like a taco shop, and you're a real estate agent, I've actually seen this before, you can actually submit or report that review to Google and say, hey, this is a review not for my business. It looks like they're leaving it for a taco shop. I'm a title company. Can we please have that removed? And Google will likely remove it. If for some reason Google cannot prove that it's not in conjunction with your business, they will leave it. So if you can't prove it, they will leave the review. But if it's clear that it's very much does not make sense for your business, they will remove it, which is unlike like a Yelp platform. Yelp doesn't care. They will leave negative reviews regardless. But I will say this, let's say you do get a negative review or not so great review, you know, and it's common. We're going to have some crazy times. We're going to make some mistakes. Maybe somebody on our team dropped the ball, or somebody you referred dropped the ball. It happens. And one of the things that I can tell you is acknowledge the review publicly, but address it privately. And what that might look like is saying something like, ma'am, or, let's say his name was Alex that left a crazy review. When you say, Alex, I'm so sorry for the experience that you had with our company. It is not up to the standards that we hold true to us and our mission in the business. We would love to remedy the situation. Please give us a call at XYZ phone number. Okay, you're acknowledging it publicly, but you're asking them to reach out to you privately. Okay. And that's really important, because I've seen where these companies get into battles of like negative reviews back and forth, and it just looks so bad. It looks so bad on the company. Whereas if you say it's, if you acknowledge it, say it's not up to standards, we'd love to improve our processes, please give us a call, all of those things so we can remedy it. It's showing, one, that you care, but two, it's also not getting into, I call them Facebook battles anywhere else online, because I feel like Facebook's the only place that people like fight each other all the time. So acknowledge publicly, address privately. Any questions on the 5 R's of Google reviews? All right, let's go. Okay, that third big piece of local search ranking. So website SEO and backlinks. Okay, website SEO, website search engine optimization. So essentially, search engine, which is Google, optimizing your website for search engine, for that search engine. So we're essentially trying to optimize our website for Google search. And there's 2 ways to do it. One, a lot of times it has to do with keyword research. We talked a little bit about keywords. So SEMrush is a third-party website that I suggest people to go on. And you can, I'll actually bring you over here now. Can you guys see SEMrush? Okay, so when you land on SEMrush, you can essentially create like, let's see, like, let's say I was going to put in, so if you put in, let's say you put in your domain, it will tell you your website authority, which is essentially kind of a score against your competitors. It'll tell you what your organic search traffic is. It'll tell you how many backlinks you have, and how many other like website domains are referring to your actual website. It'll tell you all of the different organic traffic, where it's coming from, who it is, all of those wonderful things. It'll tell you your organic keywords. It's going to tell you a lot of different things, wonderful things. One of the things that I really like to do, though, is to go down here into the keyword research tools, and the keyword, let's say, just opportunities here. So if I wanted to make sure that the information on my website connected to the keywords that I'm using in my Google business profile, I might put in here real estate agent. And what is going to come up, it's just a broad match of all the different keywords. Or maybe I'm not putting in real estate agent. Maybe I'm putting in buying a home. And it's going to give me all the different top keywords when it comes to buying a home. Or let's say I put in mortgage. Okay, so you're going to see these hits on, like, these are huge, right? So mortgage rate, mortgage calculator, all of these different things. So let's say you wanted to, implement a third-party service on your website from a partnership that you had with a lender and put a mortgage calculator on your website. You could easily do that. You would want to obviously put in keywords that your website has a mortgage calculator. Maybe it's for your local area, and you could get some really great hits from your local area if you're actually if your actual website contains a mortgage rate calculator, which would be really cool. You can also go over here to like phrases if you wanted to do like 30-year mortgage rates or whatever. Let's say maybe you were blogging. Maybe you have a blog on your website and you can add different things to it. You can add some of these keywords inside of a blog. So I'll give you an example. On my Title Nerds, which is a website that I help manage, I write blogs there. And before I write a blog on a specific topic, I come to SEMrush and I look up all the keywords when it comes to the topic that I'm reading or that I'm writing on. So that way I know when I'm formulating my actual blog, I'm going to use some of these keywords. And what happens is Google sees that and says, oh, wow, they're using a lot of keywords in this blog. And I'm going to match that one, not only to their profile, but to their search results, to overall search results in their local area based on the keywords that you're using. I live in Columbus, Ohio, so I'm going to be Columbus, Ohio real estate and see what comes up. All right, so if I want to search like my specific area, you can do some of these searches. I'm still under phrase match. Yep. And I can use some of these keywords and say, okay, the volume is here. So it bodes me well to say Columbus, Ohio real estate instead of real estate in Columbus, Ohio. This search is higher of a volume than this search is. So if you have like a templated website and you don't have the opportunity to put extra keywords onto your website, I suggest either getting a website of your own or seeing if it's like something your brokerage can do to manage more local search results. So if it's something that your brokerage manages the website, say, hey, is there any way to have us have more local content on our website, because it'll help everyone get more research or get more results when it comes to local search. It's just really hard to increase keyword opportunities and backlink opportunities if you don't have ownership of your website. A backlink is essentially, it's like me. So I wrote a blog yesterday, and in the blog, I actually linked, I think, 3 parts of the blog to offsite links. Okay. That's a backlink. Not only is that a backlink, but also a link that's coming to your website from a third-party link is also a backlink. And essentially what Google says is, we want these websites linking other companies and other businesses because it just increases their authority. It says, okay, this business is a true business because they're not only referencing themselves, but they're referencing other websites that have authority. And you'll kind of see this. So there's a website I love. It's called HubSpot, and HubSpot has great opportunities and great blogs when it comes to like just marketing stuff, just like basic marketing skills and opportunities and ideas. They do a lot of research stuff. But what I will say is, like, HubSpot is a great CRM. It's a great blog. They offer a lot of different, they even offer, like, I think kind of like a MailChimp opportunity in there. But HubSpot actually writes blogs that backlink to their competitors, and that link forward to their competitors, back or forward or whatever you want. But what it does is it shows Google, hey, I'm the best at this. Let's say I'm the best at a free CRM, which HubSpot is one of the best free CRMs out there. But it's saying, here are all these other free CRMs that I'm talking about, but I'm talking about mine as well. I'm giving you the authority to go over there and check them out. But I'm telling you right now, mine's the best because I'm telling you that all of these are out there, but I'm telling you why mine's the best. And I'm telling you all of these different things. It's giving them authority to tell Google, hey, this is like, if you're looking for a free CRM, HubSpot's the way to go. So keywords and backlinks are really important on your website. If you don't have the opportunity to edit your website, I would say skip over this. Do not worry about it as much. If at some point in the future of your business, you decide to have a website, make sure that you have blogging opportunities, make sure that whoever's writing your copy online, when I say copy, it's just the words on your website, they know what they're doing when it comes to keyword research and utilizing backlinks. I know it's a lot. Does that make sense? Okay, good. All right, let's go back to, okay, next up is citations. So citations are essentially the name, address, and phone number on other third-party websites. So first and foremost, we want to make sure that we check our online listings for accuracy. So Google looks at these listings and they help with local ranking factors, even if it's a competitor. So if you want to see where your online listings need help, there's a website called yourvant.com. And I love this website because you can go here, you can type in your business name, your street address, city, state, and zip code, and your phone number. Let's do, oh goodness, what company should I do? Give me a restaurant. Hold on, Condado Tacos. This is my hubby and I's favorite place to eat. Hold on, Condado Tacos. I'm going to show you how good they are with their NAP. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take, so I take the name here, what I want, and then I take the address. So I'm going to go to this address. Whoops. What was that? 4052. Okay, 4052. I'm going to go to Powell, Ohio. You guys are learning a lot about me on this call. And then I'm going to, if anybody wants to send me tacos, I'll take it. I'm like almost 9 months pregnant with twins. You're welcome to send me tacos. Oh my goodness. All right. So you would put your name in here. You would put your business name, what you want your NAP to look like, right? The one that we talked about on Google Business Profile. Then you would put your street address. That would be, where your actual location is, okay? And then you would put Powell, Ohio, obviously city, state, and zip, and then the phone number for your contact information. And then I'm going to hit scan. Oh, it's a power listing. Darn it. Oh my gosh. A power listing is a good thing, guys. A power listing means is they likely have a third-party company managing their business, and their listings are legit all over the place. Okay, so essentially I'm gonna bring up what a hold on. I'm gonna stop the share so you can see my fabulous face. And then I'm gonna bring up a scan. Let's see. Oh, let's not bring up that one. Actually, I'm gonna bring up a scan so you guys can see what that looks like. Oh my goodness, this is taking way too long. Hold up, guys. Where are my scans? I have them in a scan. Normally I have them ready to go, but that one did not work. So Oh, here it is. Okay. So I'm going to do a scan out of New York. So you guys can see that. Zoom, where are you? Okay. Did somebody ask a question? Glad to send you some tacos. I love you, Timmy. I'll take tacos any day. I'm serious. Okay, I'm going to share with you what a scan would look like. So let's say you put in your business. This is a scan. So this is a title company out of New York. But what it shows is that right now they're running with 82% of inaccurate listings as far as their business. And what I mean by that is listings with wrong or missing information. So business name, address, phone number. And it will tell you on here where their listing is found and not found, or where their listing might have mistakes. So this one, so we searched Langdon Title, which is what their listing is on Google. And what we came up with was that some of these are not listed properly. So this one's Langdon Title Agency LLC, Langdon Title Agency, comma. So what we would want to do as far as even on the real estate agent side is to fix this stuff up. So that way it all looks the same across the board. Okay. And all of these different places are citation listings that Google looks at and says, hey, fix this. So that way we know you're legitimate, not just here, but all over the interwebs. Okay. There's a lot on here, which is totally fine. And you don't have to do it right away. Just work through 1 or 2 a week. It's totally fine. But go on here, see where your inaccurate listings are, take care of those. This will help with your citations. It'll help with your business reputation and online reputation a ton. This is super easy to do. It's a free service, yourvant.com, and then you're going to go to a business scan and scan your business. Sorry for sharing another title company. Like I shared it in a different state. Okay, so let's get back to I also have a checklist. So if you didn't want to do the business scan, if you're unsure about how to go about that, it's totally fine. I have an NAP checklist that I can give you instead. And what that looks like is this. So it's essentially like the top websites that I think a real estate agent should be at least having complete information on. So name, address, phone number, you can go through, it's a checklist, and you can just check off that all of your business stuff is the same on every single one of these websites. So I can send that over to you. And I think we talked a little bit about that last time. All right, next up is my biggest pro tip. Okay, so this one is really, really, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but it's really, really, really great for beating out your competition. So inside of your business profile, you can add photos to your business. You can add the inside, the outside, your headshot, your logo, your listings, your closing table photos, whatever you want to add, you can add that in there. But if you're adding photos from your phone, they're already geotagged, meaning geography tag, meaning it's already telling that photo where that photo was taken. So let's say you took a photo in front of the house that you closed on, and then you decided to upload that to your Google business profile. That is awesome because you're telling Google that this photo was tagged at this location, at this house, which is perfect. But let's say you're uploading your listing photos for a new listing that you have. One of the things when you have a professional photographer take photos of your listing is they are not tagged, geotagged photos. They're professional photos. They're usually sent to you in like, a Dropbox link or a cloud link where you can access them, and then you can upload them to the MLS. So what we need to do is we need to go in and geotag those photos ourselves. So there is a third-party website called GeoImager, and it's GeoImgr.com. You can sign up for a free account, and inside the free account, you can geotag 5 photos every single day. Only 5 photos with a free account. I wouldn't sign up for pro. You're not going to want to do any more than 5. It's not that fun. But essentially what you would come in and you would do is you would grab a listing photo, from, your desktop computer. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to place the nice little location on where that house is. And again, I'm showing you guys my entire life and world because this is where my home is. Maybe I won't show you exactly where my home is, but it's public information. You guys are savvy people. It would be fine. I trust you.
We
Maybe.
have to know where to send the tacos anyway.
I know, right? Exactly. I'm like, you gotta know where to send tacos. Okay, so what I would do is I would put that there. Seeing here, once I place this location button, the reason I didn't put an address in is because I don't have a pro account. If I tried to put an address in, it would yell at me and say you can only do that with a pro account. So you kind of have to finagle it and do it on your own and navigate the map. But what it's going to do is it's going to give me a latitude and longitude. Right now it's telling me I don't have an existing geotag on this photo. If I wanted to, this would be the new geotag. So I can hit write that tag, or I can add keywords to it. So maybe I say Powell, Ohio, single family home. And then I can also, I can even put that down here. It's totally fine. Or maybe Powell, Ohio, single family home, 5-level split. Do you guys have 5-level splits? No, it's just, I live in a 5-level split. And it's just like the strangest house to walk through, but it's so cool. What'd you say, Susan?
I'm trying to picture 5 levels.
Okay, so when I like open up the door, there's the formal dining room to the right. It's a bedroom to the left. My husband and I use it as an office. We have French doors there. And then you walk in and then there's the kitchen and then there's the great room. But then you go down like 5 stairs and there's like a bonus room. We use it for a movie room and my daughter's playroom. And then you go up so that's like level 1 and level 2. And then let's say you go back up to level 1, you go up 5 stairs and the master is off that. And then you go up 5 more stairs and then you have all of your spare bedrooms. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The only splits I know is you go down and up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, so those are the only splits I know.
So it's like a huge trend here. We have MI Homes that builds them, and then a couple of the other builders have really jumped on. It's like the #1 sold floor plan in Columbus since like the 60s. It's crazy. So we have a 5-level split. So I would put that in there. And then I would probably put in like Olentangy schools because the huge search. Okay. And then once I have all of this down here, I hit write at EXIF tags, and it's going to write my tags to that actual photo. And then once it tags that photo, I'm going to hit download, and I can download that photo, and that photo is now geotagged. And then I'm going to upload it to my Google business profile. Okay. And essentially that's going to tell Google that this home is in the area that XYZ agent works in. It's just going to give that information back to Google, and it's going to say, hey, this is where that home is. And here's why it's really important. So I had an agent who had been working in an area for a very long time, for like 20 plus years. And her husband decided to semi-retire to a different area. And she's like, I really want to start focusing on homes in that area, even though I haven't sold any. But what we did was we took some of her sold homes and we actually geotagged them to the areas she then wanted to work in. And although it's not the most like honest thing in the world, you're not like, nobody's going to look at your geotags. Like not a single person or consumer is going to look at your geotags. Essentially, she just kind of wanted to game the system on Google and say, hey, this house is in this area, and this is the service areas that I'm saying that I want to work in or that I do work in. And it just kind of gamified the system for her. So if you wanted to move from working in a specific area and you kind of wanted to bleed out, you can always geotag your homes in different areas to give Google some different information on where you want to work. That was just kind of like a tricky way to do it. But this is also just a great way to add keywords, tags, and geolocations to your high resolution photos of your actual properties that you guys are listing. Because I would say if you're getting professional photos, 100% geotag them, because they're not going to come from your photographer geotagged. Okay, does this make sense to everyone? So GeoImager, free account, upload the photo, find your location, write your keywords and your description, and then hit write EXIF tags. If you don't click this, you won't be able to download it anyways. Okay. If you're unsure about this, just think about like the house and what is surrounding. Obviously, the city is something that people would search. Single family home. If somebody's searching a 5-level split, or maybe they're searching for a ranch home, or maybe they're searching for a condo or something like that. Like making sure that we're giving those keywords and tags to the actual photo is really helpful for Google. And then once you hit write that EXIF tag, you'll be able to download the photo with those geotags.
Allie?
Then upload it into Google. Yep.
Jimmy has a great question that
Yep.
he's asking. All right, photos from an iPhone are geotagged, but what about videos? Are they also geotagged when you use your iPhone?
Yep. Anything that's in your phone that's taken from your phone is always geotagged, which is creepy because like I can literally look at a photo, go to the information on it, and it'll tell me exactly what time, date, latitude, and longitude that photo was taken at, which is great for us, for Google, but it's super creepy if somebody like got a hold of your phone and was looking at everything where you were, or got into your phone and was like, oh, they spend a lot of time at this park. That can be a little scary. But yes, every photo and video is geotagged, absolutely, that you take from your phone. It's just like the higher produced ones that I want you to be wary of. And I feel like we should be posting, if we're posting our product online, we should be posting those high resolution photos from our photographers that we're getting photos of done on the house. Same thing if you guys are getting like headshots or professional office photos done. Those are also really important to make sure that you're geotagged. But like I said, if you take them on your phone, totally fine, because they're already going to come geotagged that way. Take photos of your children. Yeah, it does. Yeah, absolutely. So, but at the same time, it also reminds me of where we were when we were taking that photo. If you really want to know, like, where were we here? And then I can look and say, oh, because my husband and we would take my daughter to like Prescott and the White Mountains and all these different places around Phoenix when it got warm. And sometimes we forgot like which cabin we were at, when we were in this woods or whatever. So I can look back and say, hey, this is when it was, and this is where we were. It's also really good if like you need to send somebody something and you're like, I don't remember where this house was, but here's the latitude and longitude for it. Okay, so let's move on. If anybody doesn't have any more questions on the geotag photos, those are most of my pro tips. So we went over Google Business Profile, reviews, we went over website SEO and backlinks, and we went over citations. Those are the most important reasons that you're going to rank locally. If you have a completion of all these things and you're continuously staying on top of these things, I guarantee you will see organic traffic come to your business. Make sure your messages are on. Make sure your phone number is correct. Make sure you're answering those calls that might seem like they might be spam calls, but they're not. Okay. And I'm seeing agents get 1 to 5 additional deals a year just because they're ranking high for local search. And we talked a little bit about last time, the where to buy and the near me searches have grown over 200% in the last 2 years. So best realtor near me, or pal realtor near me, or where to buy a home in Columbus, Ohio, whatever that is. All of those searches have gone up. People are leveraging Google search for opportunities more than they were 2 years ago versus asking a friend for a referral, which is kind of scary, to be honest. But what they're doing is they're doing their due diligence online. They're looking and making sure that this person has a legit business, that they know what they're talking about, they know what they're doing, they have authority online, and their Google Business Profile reflects that.
One more question. Jimmy asked, do I use the same tool to look up the geotag info of pictures that I take? So. help me
No.
out.
You
Mm.
talking about on your phone, Jimmy? So on your phone, depending on, I don't have an Android, so I can't show you that. But okay, hold on. Let's look at, let me pull up a photo. So that is not okay. This is my little munchkin at her baseball game. If I look at that photo and I actually swipe up on the photo in on an iPhone, so if you take your photo and your photo's open and I swipe up on the iPhone, it's going to automatically add it's going to automatically show you the day, the time, what image it is, what type of phone took that photo, what type of camera lens I was using. And then it's going to show me a map of exactly where that photo was taken. And it's going to show me if there's anything surrounding on that map. You can also, like, I can add a caption to that as well. So that would be good too. If you're uploading a photo from your phone to your Google Business Profile, adding a caption to it with some keywords would be really great. But all phones, even your Androids, geotag pictures. So you can just do that right in your phone. I don't know what it looks like on the Android side, but usually you can click on like more info or like a 3 dot or something like that, and you can look up all the geotags for all that information. But that's how you do it on an iPhone. You bring up the actual photo and swipe up, and it'll show you all that stuff. Does that answer? Is that for good? Okay. Okay. So the last thing to mention is I need you guys to understand that today's customers are comparing you to not only their previous real estate customer experience, if they've had that, but they're comparing you to their best customer experience in general. Okay, people are expecting businesses to just to improve their customer experience across the board, meaning they're not comparing you to XYZ Realtor. They're comparing you to Amazon, to, their pizza delivery people, the ease of access to getting in communication with you. And we need to start realizing that in the real estate industry is we're not comparing ourselves to the other realtor. They're comparing ourselves to service in general. It's really, really important when we look at accessibility, authority of information, when we look at, what our online presence looks like, not just the keywords, but usability of a website, completion of the Google Business Profile. People want to know that they're working with a very professional company, not just a real estate agent who's a little bit better than the one that they used the last time. Okay. And Susan, do you want to, I don't think that they got that message because the chat is just for you and I.
Oh, I thought
if
it
you
went to
wanna-
everybody.
You're
Okay.
good. If you want to drop it in the Q&A so
Okay.
people can put it there, that would be great.
I did this the last time.
Yep. And just remember, the initial search online is usually the start of their overall experience of their brand. Maybe they heard about you from a friend, but they're still doing research. That's their experience. So I 100% suggest you Google yourself constantly. I actually have a Google alert. So if you use Google, you can set up an alert. An alert will tell you whenever your company or your name is mentioned online. So I have a Google alert for our company. It's so funny. I heard news about one of our executives on one of my Google alerts, and I reached out to one of our other executives and I just said, "Hey, what's going on here?" And he's like, "How did you hear about that?" And I was like, in my Google alert. And he was just like, "Stalker." Like, it wasn't a big deal, but I was just like, how does this impact us and blah, blah, blah. It was really a good thing. One of our our CEO was asked to be on a board for a different company. And it doesn't really impact us at all, but it was, I didn't know that, so I asked, but it's just a great way to manage your brand. So you can set up a Google alert with your name or your business name. And I always suggest people to do that in the case that, somebody's being slanderous online, or maybe you've been published, and it's just an easy way to get your information and your publishings out there, which is really cool. But just know that people are looking at you. They're going to expect these things from you. Whereas I feel like in the real estate space, we haven't really focused on online presence a ton. But the consumers of today, the millennials, the Gen Z, the Gen Alpha, are going to expect everybody, no matter the type of business, to be complete and to have a great experience online and offline. So if you can get this together now, I guarantee you, as we move into more millennial home ownership, Gen Z starting to buy. Actually, I saw a study the other day, and it said the percentage of Gen Z that already own a home right now at their age is higher than any other generation at that same age. When they were all at that same age, Gen Z owns more homes now than any other generation when they were that same age, which is such a great thing. It's such a great statistic, and it makes me really excited about the future. But like I said, people are going to expect a really insane customer experience from you. So focusing on those things. And I think the way to start and do that is through Google Business Profile. But on that note, I just want to say quick thank you to Susan. We missed Claire today, but please reach out to them. Claire is a guru on wonderful, amazing marketing opportunities and strategies. Susan can help you on the sales side and execution, targeting, all of those wonderful things. She's got a big team behind her, which is fabulous, and we just love working with them. So please, if you don't already work with them, give them a try. They're fabulous humans. And we're so excited to see you guys next time on the next call.